Ed. I'm a scaled CrossFit athlete, and today we're going to talk about 19.3. Before I get started, I am wearing a sweatshirt from CrossFit 168 in Sydney, Australia. It was super fun to drop in there. Really enjoyed it. 19.3 has been announced. It was announced last night, and I took some time to sleep on it because I was so unimpressed with it that nothing I said was coming out very nicely. I still don't have a lot of nice things to say about this workout. So sleeping on it didn't really change my opinions at all. So the workout, if you don't know, for scaled is a 200-foot lunge with a 35-pound or 50-pound for women and men respectively dumbbell in the front rack position, followed by 50 dumbbell step ups to a 20-inch or 24-inch box for women and men respectively, followed by 50 handstand push-ups with a 5-inch elevation, followed by a 200-foot bear crawl. I'm so unimpressed with this workout. I'm really not happy with this workout, particularly from a scaled perspective. Last year, when handstand push-ups were in the open, this scale was hand release push-ups, which is a fantastic scale. It's still pushing. It's like that was much better. So I feel super confused about why HQ has not kept to their own scaling standards. I just feel like putting handstand push-ups into the scale, even with that elevation, makes the workout really not accessible. It's not beginner friendly. To me, it doesn't make sense to try and make the scaled division progressively harder year after year because you don't have the same population coming into it. So I'm not a fan of that. I understand the idea of challenging yourself. I understand that the open is so great for challenging yourself and getting your first whatever it is. That's super great. But I'm working on other things. I'm working on the things I need to even get to a handstand push-up, right? I can't kick up into a handstand if I'm not facing the wall, right? I have to do a wall walk into a handstand. And so I'm working on that, by doing wall walks and, doing pretend handstand kickups. There's things that I'm still working on outside of the hour that I go into the gym. And so I'm really not a big fan of this workout. I feel like CrossFit HQ has just essentially jumped the scaled shark, that they've kind of went off the deep end on this one. And I also understand that every year there tends to be a workout that has some element in scale that many people can't do, that like true scaled athletes really don't have the capacity to do. It's usually when muscle ups are programmed, and the scale for muscle ups is a chest to bar pull up or a pull up. And so my big concern now is, are muscle ups going to show up later in the open? And if they do, what is that scale going to be? And are there going to be now 2 workouts out of only 5 that aren't reachable for me or aren't reachable for a scaled athlete? And so if that's the case, I'm really unimpressed. I'm not a huge fan of this workout. The dumbbell weights also have not been scaled. In the past, the dumbbell weights have been scaled to 20-35 for women and men. And you even saw in the first and second weeks, 19.1 and 19.2, the weights are scaled. I feel really confused about the decisions for scaling this workout. I just don't understand it, and it's definitely not how I would have written it. Okay, so we've talked about the workout, how I'm not super happy with it. But here's something fairly realistic that I've realized after watching the announcement at Diablo CrossFit yesterday. In this particular workout, how they have written it, it is unlikely that I will get to the handstand push-ups. But for the workout, how I think it should have been written, yes, I would have been able to get there because I would have been using a 20-pound dumbbell, and doing lunges with a 20-pound dumbbell is super doable for me. Doing box step ups with the 20-pound dumbbell is also super doable and accessible for me. I am going to go into the gym today and I'm going to do the workout. I am not excited about the workout as a whole. However, I am excited for the work that I am going to do. So I am going to, first of all, wear knee sleeves. You are going to be doing a lot of lunges, so wear knee sleeves. Your knees will really appreciate having a slightly cushioned surface to touch down on, because the movement standard is your knee has to touch the ground for each lunge. So definitely I'm going to be putting on knee sleeves. And then if I don't need them, or if they're annoying me for the box step ups, I'll just fold them down on my leg, and that will be just fine. In this workout, the only difference is where you hold the dumbbell for the lunges. RX is going to be straight overhead, so making sure that your arm is locked out overhead during those lunges, whereas scaled is going to be holding the dumbbell in that front rack position. So if you feel that you can hold a dumbbell overhead and do lunges, then why not do it? You'll be doing the workout RX, and that's kind of cool. If you have done the other workouts scaled and you are showing up on the scaled leaderboard, doing one workout RX will bump you into the RX leaderboard, and you will no longer show up on the scaled leaderboard, no matter if you've actually done workouts scaled. So just be aware of that. If you are looking to do this RX and you've done the other workouts scaled, is that you will now only show up on the RX leaderboard. If you can hold it overhead, feel free to do it RX. The rest of the workout, if you don't think you're going to get to the handstand push-ups anyway, will be the same. So for me, I am going to go in with the lunges. I am going to switch arms on the lunges every 25 feet. And so I will go down with my right arm overhead, switch arms, and then go back with my left arm overhead. Depending on if I discover if I can hold a 35-pound dumbbell overhead. I might not be able to, so I might do it in the front rack position. But that strategy holds true for me, is that I will still switch arms after every 25 feet. The next thing that will happen is the dumbbell box step ups. That will be to a 20-inch box for me. I have done those before. I don't think I've done them with a 35-pound dumbbell. So I need to figure out how exactly I want to hold it. When I've done dumbbell box step ups in the past, I've just held it at my side. But watching the announcement yesterday, most athletes were holding it on their shoulder. So for me, I might be able to do that. That might be a little easier. I'll find out. But I am going to break up the dumbbell box step ups into 5s. So after every 5, I'll probably take a break, switch the dumbbell to the other shoulder or to the other hand, and then continue to go for another 5. I find that 5 is a small enough number that I don't get completely blown up doing box step ups, but it's also a large enough number that I can still slowly see progress. 50 is a lot of reps, and so when you're just doing those first initial 5s, it does feel like it's going to be forever. I don't think I will get to the handstand push-ups. I think it's going to take me 10 minutes to do the lunges and the box step-ups. So I'm essentially going to see how far I can get. I'm not going to have a plan for if I get to the handstand push-ups. I'm just going to call it at that point. I think that doing a high-skill gymnastics move that you haven't practiced and that you aren't ready for is a really, really good recipe for an injury. And that's not something I want. I'm not going to be trying that because it's not something that I've been focusing on, because there are so many other things that come before it. And I just don't want to open myself up to injury. That's all I have. I would be super interested to know what you think of 19.3, especially if you're a skilled athlete, so feel free to let me know. In the meantime, I know I'm going to really enjoy the work that I'm going to get done today on this workout. I hope that you're able to have fun doing it and scale it appropriately to whatever level you are. And in the meantime, have a good workout.